Hey guys, it's Brett for TopoRanger, and as promised, we are back in the Muddy Creek Gorge today. And we're heading downstream, and today we're going underwater. We're going to do some creek crawling, okay? I got my wetsuit, got my mask, got my fins, got everything I need to get underwater. As you can see, oh jeez, as you can see as I trip and fall down, break my neck. No, as you can see, it is a beautiful day. About 80 degrees. Creek is a little bit higher than last time maybe, but the water looks pretty clear. And it's warm enough that I can get cold, I can get down in that water. I don't know how cold the water is, but it's probably not very warm. I'm not sure where I'm going to go yet. I'm going to hike to the first little set of rapids there, that deep pool, and check that out. I think I might want to just take the time and hike down the 1.5 miles to get to the gorge and put in there, because I'm just always really curious about what's at the bottom there, how deep that water is, if there's anything washed down. I'm also going to be looking for stuff that might have been washed down the creek during floods and whatnot. Basically just, splash around the water, have a good time. It's June the 9th, I think, so it's, this is like peak summer here, and I'm so happy to be outside today. I haven't been able to get out for maybe a week or two now, so it's been a while, and I'm so psyched that you guys are with me. So let's go have some fun, all right? All right, we're here at the first section of rapids, Mason-Dixon Trail. So here we are. Now I'm going to go ahead and say that the water is definitely a little bit higher than it was when we were here for episode 22, which is a great episode. That's where I did the hike down to the gorge and ran into the kayakers there and got that footage of them shooting the gorge. So the water is definitely a little bit higher, a little deeper, a little cloudier too. It's not quite as clear as it was before. Let's go down here and check this out and see what it looks like. And this whole section here, it runs the whole way around this bend. This is all prime swimming area. And you can see here we got a little primitive bench and a little fire pit going here. So basically anywhere along here would be really cool. And you can see the schist right there, scoured clean. Let's head down to this beach over here. All right, I didn't have to go far to make my first find, which are a nice pair. Let me get nice pair of Air Huarache Nikes, basically Nikes. Kind of used though. I mean, the soles are not so good. 9.5 though. That's about my size. 9.5, 10. So somebody left their shoes here. I'll pack those out. All right, so here we go. So I think what I'm going to do today is I'm going to set up shop right here. I've been here when the water's a little lower and a little clearer. So I think I'd like to save the gorge when we go creek crawling down in the gorge where the big rapids are, and also Snap Falls, which is right down there. I want the water a little bit clearer, and I would like to get here a little bit earlier in the day. And maybe a little bit warmer too, because it's about 80 degrees today. Tomorrow is supposed to be 90. So I think tomorrow maybe I'm going to go hit up the Cadora's furnace though. I got a big area here, and I got a lot of a lot of creek that I can crawl, see if I can't find anything, get wet, check out the underwater topography. Nothing really looks that deep here, but we'll see. I have a depth gauge with me, and we'll go up there. We'll see if we can't crawl up those rapids and just chill out. I brought a little bit of food and some water. I'm looking today just to really just kind of mellow, chill, be outside, get wet, kind of check it out, and then as we go down the creek, over the course of the summer, as it gets hotter and the water gets clearer, we'll progressively explore more and more. Now, I have done some additional research reading whitewater stuff, and there's where episode 22 ends, right as I get up that hill. You know, here's the gorge, I go up that hill, I stop right there. In between there and where you hit the flat water, which is actually the lake backing up into the Muddy Creek Gorge, there's about a 3/4, maybe a mile of prime gorge, and based upon what I read, waterfalls, rapids, creeks coming in off the side, lots of cool stuff. Still, a lot of good stuff after even that dramatic gorge that was in the episode 22. So we got a whole bunch of stuff here in Muddy Creek Gorge to explore. So today we're going to start right here. I don't know what the name of this is. I don't know if this has a name. A lot of these little waterfalls do have names that the whitewater people use. I'm not sure what that is. But I'm going to get geared up and we're going to go check it out, alright? Alright guys, before I get in, I'm just going to give you a quick breakdown of what kind of gear I got today for creek crawling. First off, I got this Henderson wetsuit. Size XL, but it still seems to be a little bit small on me. It's very thin. I think it's mostly, it's kind of for like windsurfing and stuff like that. But I'm going to try it out today, see if it can't kind of take a little bit of edge off of the cold, because I do think the water's pretty cold. I have another wetsuit. I think it's also for windsurfing, that's thicker all around, which would be better for the cold water. But this one allows me more movement. It's just lighter, it's not as buoyant, so I'm not going to have to worry about struggling against floating to the surface as much. This is kind of a makeshift weight belt in case this wetsuit does make me too buoyant. I don't want to struggle constantly with having to fight to get down to the bottom, which is basically where I want to be. So if I have to, I can put that weight belt on, and that should drop me right to the bottom. I think it's about somewhere between 5 and 7 pounds. Here are my fins. Pretty self-explanatory. Now I can only get into these, I think, with my bare feet. I'm not sure if I'm going to use these right away. I think first I'm going to use these booties. I'm going to see if I can't just kind of crawl around. I mean, it is called creek crawling, not creek swimming or creek finning. These are great because you can walk on the wet rocks, you can walk on the bottom, I can get out. If I want to get out on the other side and explore, I got those booties. If I'm just wearing the fins, obviously I can't walk in those, and if you take those off, you're in your bare feet. I got my mask right here. No snorkel, because I'm mostly just going to be doing free diving. And anything I want to see is probably what I'm looking for is stuff on the bottom. Visibility it's a little cloudy today anyway, so it's not a situation where I'm going to be, on the surface looking down 20 or 30 feet through crystal clear water, so I don't really need a snorkel. These are my, basically, these are neoprene gloves that allow you to give you a little bit more extra push in your swim, like having webbed fingers. And then this is a wet bag. And basically, if I want to, if I have enough time, I might go downstream a little bit, see if I can't find that one waterfall I thought we saw across on the other side. And if I do that, I'm going to want to take my phone, which is over there, and my valuables and stuff, So I'm going to want to have a wet bag or a dry bag. This folds up and everything inside stays dry. So that's basically my kit. So let's get suited up and see how cold the water is. Wolfgang Puck. Alright guys, well, that was some classic creek crawling there. I went in as far as the first two rapids here, and I went the whole way downstream, maybe 500-600 feet. Water doesn't get very deep in this section here. I'd say probably deepest maybe 8 feet. Aside from a few aluminum cans and some shards of pottery and a Wolfgang Puck pot. I didn't really find anything very interesting. That's okay. Current, it's really strong. Current's really strong. Even right here, where it's just kind of like, you look at it and you're like, oh, it's just kind of breezing by. It's very strong here. The up where the rapids are, it's I tried to get some good footage of me just kind of clinging to the rocks, you know. Unless you get a really good grip on something that's solid and fixed to the bed of the creek really well, there's no hope. I mean, you're just getting blasted downstream, and you know, that's part of the fun That's one of the big thrills of creek crawling, is trying to test your testing your strength against putting it up against the strengths of the creek, you know. And this is a pretty big creek, so the currents are pretty strong, and it's kind of hard with one hand, you know, holding a cam. So I think what I need to do next time, this is inside a giant pothole. What I need to do next time is I need to come up with a system whereby I can have my cam mounted to my head in a way it's not going to get blown off. When I first started, when I went in here initially today, I had the camera just a little strap, you know, around my head, and it didn't take much current at all for this thing to start pulling off sideways. So I got to come up with a better system, so I can have both hands free. Then I can really kind of grab a hold of stuff. I can fan the gravel, see if I can find anything. I can swim too. You know, I can use both hands to swim. Those gloves are the webbed finger gloves are very effective. I really like them. I don't think I need the fins though, at least not here. But like I said, even here the current's strong, so I'm thinking I really am looking forward to heading further down to Snap Falls and the Gorge, where the real rapids are. Not that I'm going to go into the rapids, but just beyond where you have those cliffs. I really want to get in there and see what's at the bottom of that, because I think that water is going to be a little bit, or might be quite a bit deeper. I'm thinking 10, 15, maybe even 20 feet. So we might be able to actually do some free diving here. Like I said, this section here, not very deep. Didn't expect it to be very deep, but there's a lot of cool, I don't know if it came out in the footage. I have to go home and bring it up on the computer, but there's a lot of cool underwater potholes here. Saw some fish. A lot of places the schist is scoured clean, and you can really see the layers of the schist in the sculpted forms, and it's just really cool. You know, creek crawling is got to be one of my top 5 favorite outdoor sports or outdoor pursuits to do. You discover all kinds of stuff. That's great exercise. The water temperature today, I thought it was going to be really cold. It's actually really nice. Now I don't know if that might be because of the wetsuit. I think the wetsuit worked out pretty well. It was a little bit buoyant, so I had to wear that weight belt. I think I need to get a better weight belt situation. It was definitely good to have that extra 5 or 7 pounds, whatever it was, just to kind of sink me down to the bottom. You got to be careful though, you know, because when you get into these areas where the current is real strong, I knocked my knee once, not real bad, but you got to really pay attention to what your feet are doing, what your legs are doing, because you don't want to get jammed under a rock against a really big current, because you could break your leg, or you could get stuck down under there underwater. Most of the places where the current is super strong, it's not that deep. So, but if you go out and do some creek crawling yourself, make sure you're careful. And that's about it. That's about all I have to say. All in all, I think I had a really good time. It's a really good exercise, and I'm gonna go home and edit this down. You know, I'm still kind of getting an idea of what I can do in terms of underwater cinematography. A lot of this footage is going to be like, just me floating around, falling over. Not very graceful, but I'm going to edit down as best I can, see what works, see what didn't. That way next time when we come back to this location or any other location where we're going to be doing underwater footage, maybe in the river, in the river too, I'll have a little better idea about what works and what doesn't. And like I said, if I can get that thing on my helmet so that it doesn't peel away, I think that'll be a game changer in terms of getting really good underwater footage. I could also probably, if the current is not too strong, I could probably, butterflies. I could also get I could also get my selfie stick here extended out, but the current can't be too strong for that, otherwise it gets blown away. Whoa, there he goes. Oh, look at that, yeah. So anyway, that's it for today. I hope you guys had a good time. I sure enjoyed myself, and I think this was a good test run for creek crawling for this summer 2020. All right, you guys take it easy, and this is Brett for TopoRanger signing out.